Hi Sagittarius, welcome back. This is a reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. You might find it resonates more though if this is your moon or rising sign. Okay, we have Judgment in reverse. I'm feeling Scorpio energy, Aquarius as well. We have the Page of Swords in reverse. So both of you might be wondering, is your connection going to get another chance? Is it going to be revived? Where do you stand with one another? If you're currently connected or even in a relationship, where do you go from here? We have the Two of Cups on the back. So both of you, your feelings are mutual. The care, the affection, the romance, wanting to work as a team, but also what is mutual is a feeling maybe of a lack of grounding, of not entirely knowing, seeing, understanding what next, where are we going from here? Okay, what else please? The Ace of Wands in the reverse. We have the Five of Wands reversed and Libra energy, Justice in reverse. Yeah, I mean, look at this. We've got blockages all over the place, and I feel that's because of this lack of certainty. This connection, where you're standing in this connection right now, possibly even the treatment you have received from your person, or not, maybe they've been sort of ignoring you. It's starting to knock your confidence, maybe potentially, or making you doubt, making you question, just making you feel uncertain of where you stand with them, where you stand within this connection. Someone here is focusing on what feels like a missed opportunity. Possibly other people got in the way and interfered, whether we're talking about one specific third party or several other people, other factors. And it feels like how things have gone is not right, it's not fair. You were heading towards something really exciting, or a new beginning, an opportunity, a chance, and maybe it feels like it's just come to a stop, or it's fizzled out, and both of you are feeling like, how did that just happen? That is not how it was supposed to go. That's not where we were heading. Okay, we have the King of Wands. So not all of you, definitely not all of you, but some of you will feel like the power is in your person's hands here. That it's almost like, let's say you were in the kitchen cooking something and it was going really well. Your person came in and said, no, you don't want to do it like that, in that order. Let me show you. And they've taken over and the meal is ruined. Yeah, okay. Six of Swords in reverse. Okay. Yeah, there's a real lack of clarity. Truth needs to be spoken about what exactly happened recently. I almost feel like whoever the person is who backed away or who caused this confusion, intentionally or not, is the one now wanting to make a return, to see if you can have another go, or to see if you can have this opportunity back. Yeah, wow, I don't think I've ever seen so many reversed cards. Here's that Scorpio energy that I was feeling. So there is a message that needs to come through, probably, a message that needs to be delivered to you. I actually feel if your person seems like they've ghosted you, they've not replied, they said they were going to do something and they didn't, I feel that the reason is they became distracted, preoccupied with something else. Not that makes it okay to ignore you, of course, but what I think is hopefully nice to hear is that they didn't look at you and say, or your message and say, I'm just not going to respond to this. They had and have the intention to get back to you. How you respond when they do, of course, that's up to you. Can you give us one more before we clarify? Two of Wands. So for some of you, there's a lot of distance here. Emotional, distance with communication, or it feels like distance has been created because you've not been hearing from them. On the back, we have the Queen of Swords. So I do feel, whether you, are a man, woman watching this, you've gone from that Queen of Wands energy, feeling excited, confident, really buoyed up for your connection, into this Queen of Swords energy because it didn't go how you were expecting for either of you, and you're actually becoming maybe a bit cross because it looks like you're waiting for something in particular communication here. and you kind of feel that your person is focusing on every single thing but you. And you might be saying, well, how long does it take to send a quick message? Because the Page of Cups doesn't have to be a humongous conversation, you know, it can be a quick one-line reply. Even if this quick reply was to happen, though, I do feel like a bigger conversation needs to take place, and that would really benefit this connection. So let's see. Let's see what your person is really doing. You know, why are they distracted? What are they actually focusing on? Have they turned their back deliberately, or has something come up? Let's see. Tell me about this King of Wands, because what doesn't make sense is that they feel exactly the same as you. So why would they suddenly do this 180? Okay, the Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy, the King of Swords in reverse. Look at this, Page of Swords in reverse. So you're both saying, what is going on here? I thought it was clear. I thought we were moving forward, building up to something, and now I don't really know where I stand. Yeah, Five of Wands, interference, the Hermit. So as I said, I felt there's some interference that, you know, caused your person to pull back. So tell us more about this Five of Wands and to go quiet. Tell us about the Five of Wands, please. With the Devil being here, it feels like something they have to do that they might not necessarily want to. The Devil, yes, it can be something binding, codependent, toxic. It can also talk about something in the 3D, something tangible. So it could be work, finances, maybe there was an emergency with their family. Let's have a look and see. Tell me about the Five of Wands, please. Six of Wands in reverse. So something, maybe a sudden, how do you say? You can say a sudden sort of burst of success. The opposite, like wow, failure sounds harsh. I don't want to say failure, but something maybe didn't go to plan, or something suddenly went wrong with them or with someone they're close to here. Yeah, and it's a secret. Well, it's not a secret, they just haven't told you. So your person's actually got a lot going on that they're not really sharing, and it's coming off looking like they've just forgotten about you, or they've changed their mind about you, or something like that, but actually that's not true. And while I do agree, you know, it would be better if they can let you know where you stand, or to say, actually, I've got to go and deal with this emergency. You know, they do still feel the same. I don't think that you will never hear from them again. I don't think this is over. I think they just need a moment to sort this out. And when they do come back around, yeah, you know, it might be worth saying, can you just not do that again? You know, just disappear without saying anything. We've got Pisces energy here, Virgo. Tell me about this King of Swords in reverse, please. Sometimes he can be a liar, manipulator, but I'm not really feeling that. So let's see what's going on with this energy. Yeah, the Emperor. Your person's having to take care of business here, whatever business looks like to them. They're having to put on their responsible, mature hat and put others first. We've got Aries energy here. Tell me about this Ace of Swords in reverse, please. In terms of what has happened, you know, that's going to look different for everyone. And I kind of feel like right now, for some reason, is not the time to know. Spirit's saying, yes, it is a mystery, but that's for a reason. So try not to fight that. Try not to figure it out, because I don't think you're going to be able to know before it's time. Yeah, see, look, clarifying the Ace of Swords in reverse, we get the Ace of Swords upright. There is going to be a chance to reconnect, to have a really good conversation here. And to ask what happened, where did you go? And also to say in future, you know, of course, we all have times where we need to focus and give everything to someone or a situation, but if you could have just told me, you know, I would have known where I stood, or that you were going to disappear for X many days or weeks, and that you would get in touch when you were ready. You know, just don't just disappear, because I'm left feeling confused, wondering what's happened, if I've done something wrong. And your person, I feel, inevitably ends up wondering, okay, well, it's been X amount of time. I wonder if you, the viewer, are still interested. You know, have you disappeared? Are you annoyed? Okay, so I mean, it's quite a clear message. It feels like And take this as it resonates, if it resonates. It feels that you were going along with your person and you felt something was coming, or there was some sort of opportunity. Maybe some of you even planned a date or a phone call or something like that. And then suddenly they just dropped off into the ether and you were wondering, I'm so confused because everything was going really well and now you're not responding to me, or you're ignoring me, or something like that. But it seems something very unexpected, very big happened on your person's side that they're having to sort of really step up and deal with, but they're not telling you about it. And then they're going to get to a point, if they're not at that point already, where they start wondering how you feel about them, where they stand with you because of how they left things. But there will be a chance, like I said, to come back around and to have this conversation. Let's just look. I mean, this is such a nice energy, and it's, you know, it's really the predominant underlying energy of this reading and this connection right now. So let's have more of a look at this and see what's going on here. Yeah, look, the world is in reverse. It's definitely not over. Again, the world with the Two of Wands. For some of you, there's, you know, real excuse me, real distance here. Okay, Three of Wands. So manifesting one another. Keep your thoughts in high vibration. Obviously, you know, keep focusing on the reality you want to create with this connection, but in other areas of your life as well. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So really, it's almost like we're getting some advice here. Bring your attention back to you. You know, instead of sort of spending a lot of time wondering what's happening with me and my person, ask yourself, what do I want to happen? What sort of reality do I want to create? And of course, you know, your person has free will, but it's definitely better to give it a go and focus on what you want to see rather than maybe the disappointments that are currently surrounding you, if they are. You also might need to take this as a time for self-care, self-nurture, especially if you've been giving a lot to other people, making sure everyone else is okay. Maybe that's kind of just your nature as well. Definitely a time for inner reflection and taking care of yourself right now. Maybe even slowing things down a little bit. Confirming this point about changing perspective or keeping your vibration as high as possible. We've got the Five of Cups in reverse, and look, see, when this is reversed, this person sees the Two Cups. So you're looking at this and saying, understandably, you're saying, I don't understand, it was going so well. And Spirit's saying, you know, the connection is still here. It's just there's been an unexpected event that's causing a delay, that's causing a bit of confusion. And actually, you know, if we think of this as an opportunity, it's a good opportunity to let your person know how you prefer to communicate. You know, keep me informed, or just let me know that now isn't a good time to talk. Okay, we have the Five of Swords. The Empress in reverse and the Hierophant. Okay, so if your mind is going at 100 miles an hour, please try to relax, you know, find some peace. However you find peace, you know, could be literally anything, doing anything that feels calming and relaxing for you. Because I feel that your mind is trying to unpack, to figure out, to solve this mystery. And I do think Spirit's saying in the right time. You're not going to get to know before, you know, you're meant to here. The Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, not for all of you, but for some of you, you may have had some conflict or an argument with your person about a third party, and ever since there's been absolute radio silence here. Again, you know, you are going to get a chance to communicate and see where you stand. Okay, let's go to our Moonology deck. We've got Taurus, Libra energy. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Okay. So yeah, if this is you manifesting, you know, working on yourself, manifesting in this connection, work, health, family, hobbies, you know, anything, Spirit's saying, yeah, keep going, go for it. Do make sure you have a practical plan of action at the same time to give yourself the best chance of success. So we want to do the emotional, psychological, spiritual work, but we also want to take that inspired action in the 3D. It might be a time, like I said, to really apply yourself to something you're working on, either improving, changing, or getting off the ground, to be really diligent. I'm actually seeing an image of the 8 of Pentacles, you know, really putting your head down and laying the groundwork or working on the finer details, because that will pay off later. Absolutely, your commitment is being tested. So you might be finding that you are going through a period where you're having to work very hard on the minutiae of something, and you're wondering, you're asking yourself, is this ever going to get anywhere? I'm giving everything, I'm exhausted, I'm working long hours. When is this going to take off? When am I going to get the recognition or the payoff or the rewards? You know, when am I going to start making money or find my audience or lose the weight or see my fitness go up? You know, whatever it is. And Spirit's saying, you're not wrong. This really is a time of a focus, of dedication, of hard work. But don't give up. Keep going. It will pay off. And that applies to this connection as well, because I really, really feel you've had a past, a history in this situation, and it had come to a point with that Ace of Wands where you were both excited about this new cycle, new beginning, moving forward, and now, just like that, it went quiet. And you're asking yourself, what was it all for? Why are we in this space? But don't give up, because I feel like this is a temporary blip. And in the meantime, because I do feel your person's got to open up to you, you know, keep focusing on yourself, on the things that you can control. Okay, we have, a time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. Be careful with this, because I do feel that a lot of you have been overextending, have been very giving, nurturing, very solid and stable for other people. This feels to me like it's saying more, give yourself to things other than this connection right now. You know how if you're helping someone else with a problem, it can distract you from yours, that sort of thing. So maybe, you know, being very present in your friends' lives, your family's lives, that sort of thing. But definitely, you know, don't overextend. Give yourself time to rest. Be bold and make the first move. Again, I kind of don't feel this is with your person in this connection. I feel that same message. Extend yourself, communicate to others, check in with loved ones. Of course, you know, this is just a general reading, so if you feel very inspired to make the first move with your person, to say, hi, how's it going, haven't heard from you in a while, then, you know, definitely go for that. Let's see what's on the back. Adjustments are required. Okay, adjustments in your connection moving forward. I think there needs to be better communication and adjustments in terms of how hard you push yourself here. You know, you don't want to get burned out. Okay. So let's get some final messages from the archangels. Prioritize. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. So many of you really are manifesting something here, and the archangels are saying, you know, go for it, but remember to have that practical plan. So two cards about getting really really grounded in the 3D, really focused, really practical. And once you have that plan, if you resonate with the archangels, this is Archangel Metatron, you can definitely call the archangels in to help you, to bring you signs, synchronicities, opportunities. We have clear your space. Get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use feng shui. So this can be emotional clutter, psychological clutter, physical, tangible mess, but clearing out, getting focused, prioritizing. And we have crystal clear intentions. This is crazy. Be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. I mean, guys, manifest, manifest, manifest right now. It's definitely your time. Okay, so on Valentine's Day, which I believe is Sunday, I will have a reading coming out, and the suggestion that got the most likes as far as I can see on the last video I put up was something along the lines of a reading for divine masculines, divine feminines, who are in no communication. And oh yes, because I think the comments said that there's a lot happening in the 5D, but not too much happening in the 3D. So I will focus the reading around that sort of a question. I will probably expand it into, you know, twin flame, soulmates, that sort of energy. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, or maybe, you know, filled in some of the blanks, that sort of thing. I will do the one question, one card. Thank you for all of your questions. If you want to leave a question for Monday's draw, please do. Just put your question in the comments and I will enter your name. And what else? I think that's it. Yeah, okay, so let's do the one question, one card. If you're heading off, thank you so much, take care, and I'll see you on Valentine's Day. Otherwise, let's move on. Okay, where is my deck? Here. Okay, so today's winner is Storm of Love 79, who asks, I don't know what it is about your name, but it made me feel like I was like a late night radio host. Storm of Love 79. Anyway, thank you for your question, and your question is, will my person be able to move to Sweden this year? Okay, so Spirit, what message do you have for Storm of Love? Will my person be able to move to Sweden this year? Okay, so 2021. Storm of Love's person, will they be able to move to Sweden this year? We have the Chariot in the reverse, so my immediate response when I see this is no, but the reason why is because of maybe a lack of focus or direction. I mean, it's pretty much all of these cards we just had in the reading about focus, prioritize. We need a practical plan. Either you or your person has a lot going on, in Spirit saying you need to get, not you really, they probably need to get a really firm grip on everything that's going on and say, I'm making this happen. Now, what do I need to do to make it happen? You know, it's not about waiting for circumstances to be perfect. It's about making them right. And look at this on the back. We have the Three of Coins. This is working together. It's being diligent, and it's coming up with a plan, taking action. So let's not complicate this. I feel the answer is yes, if, you know, if your person can get into this energy and really get focused and be diligent about you know, making this happen. But it's as the energy is, it looks a little too unfocused for the move to happen this year, but it's definitely possible. But there needs to be a taking of control, you know, grabbing the reins and saying, I'm determined to make this work. Even if I hit a setback, I'll fix it, I'll sort it out, and I'm going to keep going. And I think, you know, Three of Pentacles